All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rechak Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles and the bishops of the great millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom, now you sincere Akim, pushing the word and truth and in sincerity. May peace and blessings be upon your households. And the title of this lesson is going to be The American Dream or an Illusion. All right. And it's, based off this Jake, Jake, man. And his channel is Andrew's Life 1979, he's just going into, you can watch the whole video on your own. Just going to play, just going to play a little bit of it, but he's going into, the American dream being a illusion. Okay, we're gonna get that word illusion. We're gonna get that word illusion in this lesson as well. Because Jake, all right, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you think America is you think this place is the kingdom. Ultimately, this is why Jake don't want to get his place up, because Jake think this is the end all be all. Jake can't see past America. Jake can't see past Esau, Edom being in rulership. All right, if the so-called white man is not in rulership, then there's no life. That's how Jake move and operate. All right, but ultimately, man, this place is it's an illusion. All right, I wanted to get a comment off the comment board before I play this Jake. Okay, and it's from First Last, and it reads, "They call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it." All right, and that's the mind, the mind state of 2/3. They're asleep. They really believe in America, man. They believe that this place is for them. This place ain't for you niggas, man. Okay, straight up.
Still do have my cat. She's not going nowhere. As long as she's alive, she's gonna be with me. Alright, kitty. You're gonna have to get up. I gotta get to work here. Well, let's get on with the video. Oh man, it sure feels good. Thanks to Kitty, my chair is nice and warm, so I appreciate that. Hey Kitty, thanks for warming up my chair. I appreciate it. Alright, let's get on with the video. Welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful one so far. Now, I'm pretty sure many of you, especially if you're my age, a Gen X or older, even some of you older millennials, you've probably been told your entire life what you needed to do and how you needed to do it in order to be successful out here. And I notice a lot of times, especially on social media, whenever someone puts out a video talking about their hardships, whether it be the lack of money. I gotta get me some new glasses, people. I've been putting it off, but I need to get to it, man. This is ridiculous. Anyways, recently there's been a lot of people that have been putting out videos talking about their hardships, whether it be homelessness or it be the lack of money to be able to pay all their bills, or it be some sort of health condition. And one thing I notice almost every time when I click on a video like that and I watch, and then I read the comments on videos like that, is, well, you should have done this. You should have done that. I remember a year and a half ago when I put out the video that changed the whole dynamic of this channel. It's a video I put out about a year and a half ago. It was in June of 2024. It was called "Everybody Should Prepare for Homelessness." And then following that video, I put out a few more videos to where I was discussing homelessness in detail. I was even given data about certain aspects of homelessness, and there were many people in the comments on those videos that, rather than, now some people were sympathetic and they understood what was going on and felt bad for the people that were going through it, but there were a lot of people that were in the comments talking about, well, that's why I work 2 jobs and I have a gazillion side hustles. That way I will never be homeless. That's why I do this. That's why I do that. Or 2, it would be something along the lines of, well, you should have done this. Well, you should have done that. And I noticed that a lot recently. Whenever someone puts out a video to where they're going through it, there's a lot of people out here that, rather than being sympathetic and try to be understanding of what the person is going through, a lot of people will automatically resort to, well, you should have done this, you should have done that. Or 2, as much as it should happen. But sometimes, again, I would say the answer to that question is no. So the question remains, what did you truly learn in high school? Okay, so for some of you, you go on the 4 years of college, the 1800s, so you're thinking, you know what?
Right. So we're gonna move. We're gonna get a scripture, right? We don't want to harp on that video too long, but you kind of get the gist of what he's saying. The American dream, it's an illusion, all right? Because America, what does America do? America is known as the Babylon the Great. Okay, this harlot was established ultimately on witchcraft. All right, this is Nahum 3 and 4, and it reads, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. All right, this place is a harlot because it gets in bed with all these other nations, man. All right, that's why you got the Lady Liberty statue. Okay, the mistress of witchcrafts. Okay, this place practices heavy enchantments. From what you watch, from what you listen to, from everything, man. The symbols, the places you work at, all right, the vehicles you drive, is all rooted in witchcraft. Okay, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. All right, so everyone here is underneath a heavy spell. Okay, witchcraft, is forbidden in the scriptures, man. But what does Esau, Edom, and the rest of the heathen do? Beginning with Esau, they practice heavy divination, man. This is why everyone is in that state of slumber or stupor, so to speak, man. Everyone here, is underneath that veil of witchcraft. People can't see that America, is nothing more than an illusion. Let's see, I got another video I want to play as well. Okay, see, bear with me for a second while I grab it. We're gonna listen to this Eve.
So there's a 91-year-old woman in Pennsylvania who's been living in her home for 25 years or more. She fell behind on the taxes because she's sick and she went in the hospital. So they auctioned her home off. She fell behind like $3,500 in the taxes. The house has been paid for. She fell behind $3,500 in taxes, and her home was auctioned off. They bought the debt for $14,000. Along with that, they got the equity included with the house. So ain't no telling how much that is. But that is the biggest American scam it is. No, even bigger than that is the dream that you are sold when you're buying a home in America, that it's your house. It's not yours. Because somebody explained to me who are you paying for something that is yours? If your home has been paid for, why do you constantly have to pay tax? Now, I know the reason that they're saying that we have to pay it, but why is it not like that in other countries? How is it the richest country in the world doesn't have universal?
All right, because just to quickly say, because you never own nothing here, man. All right, that's what you Jakes got to. You Israelites, man. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You gotta understand that you never own nothing here. All right. What did Mr. Schwab, Cotton Swab say? You will own nothing and be happy. All right. You don't own nothing here, man. This ain't our rest, Jake. Okay, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. This is not our rest. America is nothing but a big illusion. Okay, because these other countries, when you purchase a house or you pay off a house, they give you the deed to the house after it's paid for. Okay, proving what? That you own it.
Healthcare, and then we tax to death on stuff that we already own. Every year you have to you need tags. You have to register your car, and you're having to pay that. Every month you're paying these high insurance costs that keep going up. No matter how old your car is, the insurance keep going up. Same thing with the house. Everything keeps going up. So tell me, how are we the greatest country in the world and the richest country in the world? Yet, if you own a home somewhere else or land somewhere else, it's yours. You don't have to keep paying the government for something that you already own. That is the biggest ripoff. You could have a house passed down from generation. It could be in the house for in the family for 100 years. And it's passed down from generation to generation. Each generation is constantly paying taxes on this paid off house. But yet, if you get behind on those taxes, they take it. If that isn't the American dream, is an illusion. It's an illusion, and we have bought into it. That is the biggest propaganda. It is just to think that you own something here. You never own anything. Everything keeps going up. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what kind of storm going on out here, but
All right, so there you got it. There you have it, man. Because ultimately, this place has had a heavy, a lot of, people still sleep, but you got, few people here and there waking up, because this place practices witchcraft. All right, it keeps you in that enchantment. All right, Isaiah 47, and let's see. We'll start at one. Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given the pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly. Okay, speaking about Babylon the Great. All right, everyone for a moment was dwelling carelessly, especially when the economy was so called booming. Nobody was. You didn't see people talking about these things on the internet how people do now. That saith in the heart, I am, and there is none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. All right, speaking about Esau, Edom, man. You know, this double, you know, in his system that he set up, you know, these Edomites, they're careless. All right. Verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day I lost some children in widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. Okay, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Okay, because Esau Edom is you know, him and his woman, okay, they're all witches and warlocks, man. All right. And anybody who's rebellious against Al Bashar Shai is a witch. All right, ultimately. But this place, Babylon the Great, it puts people under heavy enchantments. Okay, and one of those heavy enchantments is what? Believing that America's free, you know, believing this is the home of the free and the brave and all that nonsense. All right, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, in thy mind, I am, and there is none else beside me. This is how the so-called white man thinks. All right, Esau Edom, man. He thinks he's Yahweh Shemel Shai. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Okay, the plagues, they ain't slacking. All right, they're coming on America, Babylon the Great. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right. Verse 12, stand now with thine enchantments. Okay. This is what Esau Edom thrives on, man. Witchcraft, his enchantments. You know, putting everyone underneath that veil of illusion. Okay, that's all illusion is, man. It's just nothing. It's nothing more than witchcraft. All right. And with the multitude of thy sorceries, Esau Edom is a sorcerer, man. Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. All right, from the beginning of America, man. This place was founded on witchcraft and sorcery. If so be that thou be able to profit, if so be thou if it so be thou mayest prevail, all right, and Esau is not gonna prevail. Okay, Esau in his witchcraft and his sorcery is not gonna prevail against Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, all right, we'll end it off there. Let's see if no, I had one more video. Bear with me for a second. Okay, believe I had one more video. Yeah.
Fill their stocking with holiday magic for less. Check off their list with...
In tonight's Eye on Your Money, high prices, expensive housing, and recent job losses are just some of the reasons why many Americans are struggling in the current economy.
Well, now there's another sign. The Federal Reserve reporting in the last quarter of this year that the number of people falling behind on car payments went up considerably. As Christina Flores reports, one local credit union says more people are giving up their vehicles voluntarily before they get repossessed.
All right, because ultimately, what everybody's living, you know, beyond their means. Okay, that's a part of that enchantment as well. You know, that debt, man. You know, just because you see numbers, you know, on a card, or you see numbers on the computer, you know, people think that that's money they can spend. No, that's debt, man. All right. And ultimately it's usury, it's wickedness, man, because when you go out and take out these car loans, these home loans, or whatever loan you want to get, it's followed by an interest rate, right? Okay, the interest rate might be 9%, 10%, whatever percent it is. Okay, and you ended up owing more money than what you borrowed, man. That's wicked, man. Okay.
Rich Whitaker has been in the business of recovering repossessed vehicles for over 40 years. Do you see more repossessions lately?
Absolutely.
The people he takes the cars from have stories.
The economy screwed it up.
People are not just falling behind on car and truck payments, it's semi-trucks too. Now you're telling me you're picking up a lot more semis than normal. How many are you picking up a week?
Probably 2.
Rich says truck drivers tell him
All right, so semi trucks being repossessed, man. Trucks, which I'm in the trucking industry. Trucks, that's how your goods and things of that nature get, distributed throughout the country. Okay, so that's how you know this place through, man. Okay, this America's done, man. All right, you jakes that still believe this place gonna bounce back and everything's gonna be all right, man. You gonna be destroyed, man.
it's hard to make a living.
They just complain about the price of freight if you talk to them, that there's just no money in it right now.
The problem is even worse with RVs. Many of those were bought during the pandemic.
People bought RVs because they couldn't take their kids to Disneyland, and a lot of them are just giving them back. And a lot of people are actually living in them.
So you've had to repossess RVs that people are living in.
Absolutely.
So what does that tell you?
That they've lost their house or they can't afford rent.
When the economy takes a turn, Rich sees it.
I think the higher end half of the country, those folks are hanging in there pretty good. It's the lower half that are struggling the most.
That's what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing more members fall behind on their car payments?
Yes, we have seen that over the last year or so.
Susan Chadwick is VP of the credit division at America First Credit Union.
It's not an alarming increase based on the volumes that we have, but certainly the trend is showing that it's going up slightly and has done so for about the last year.
What is notable, the number of people voluntarily surrendering their vehicles.
We have seen more members, as in the last year or so, that have said, I can't afford this anymore. I've exhausted all my options and resources. Here's the auto back.
That's unusual.
It is.
Whether your vehicle is repossessed or you give it up, you're still on the hook for the loan and your borrowing power is hurt.
Once you hit 30 days past due, that's going to hit your credit report.
America First calls people 5 days after a missed payment to give them options so they can keep their car.
Possibly a few months of interest-only payments. Occasionally we'll do a skip payment to get them through a short-term situation.
Chadwick says America First offers free debt counseling too. The last thing they want is to repossess a car. You don't want the car back.
No, it doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do our members any good.
All right, so you need your vehicle to get back and forth, to make money. So hey, America's is nothing more than an illusion, man. All right, it's just one big scam. Okay, illusion, a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. Okay, meaning what? This place plays mind games on you, a deceptive appearance or impression, and that's ultimately the other heathen nations that come over here. They get deceived, in the appearance of America. What they see on TV, what they see on American movies, and come here and life is gonna be great, and they get over here and it's nothing but a big shit show. All right, a false idea or belief. Okay, so America is a false idea. It's a scam. All right, it's one big scam. Okay, and people are realizing that. But, people going to think this place is going to, somehow bounce back. Psalms 144:7, send thy hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of great waters. All right, because what enemy, Esau, what he's going to come in as a flood, which he's already doing. Okay, but he's getting ready to turn it up a notch. From the hand of strange children. All right, he was beginning with Esau Edom, man. Some strange people. Okay, Psalms 144:8, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand, okay, their power is a right hand of falsehood. All right, meaning what? Lies. Okay, that's one of Esau Edom's weapons, or so-called gifts. He's gifted at lying. All right, this is how he built up America. Okay, his whole system, his whole rulership is nothing. It's nothing but a big lie. All right, it's nothing but falsehood, man. Who the Messiah, what he really looks like. The angels. All right, the men of the Lord. Everything. This devil's still lying. He's still putting out movies. Depicting, the apostles. Yahweh Shai. As being Edomites, man. Okay, so he's a devil. He's a liar, man. All right, and this whole system is a lie, man. But you still got Jake, believing a lie. Okay, they're gonna continue to believe the lie. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 17:17, and it reads as this is going into the account of, the a more deeper account of what the Heavenly Father Yahweh did in ancient Egypt. All right, the plagues and things of that nature. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 17:17. As for the illusion of art magic, okay, this is the new Egypt. Okay, America is known as Sodom in Egypt, spiritually Sodom in Egypt. All right, so this place is nothing but a big illusion, man. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down. All right, Esau is getting ready to, just like them ancient Egyptians, like he getting ready to be put down, man. All right, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. All right, but I mainly wanted to get that top part, man, because even back in ancient Egypt, all right, nothing new under the sun. Ancient Egypt was nothing more than an illusion, man. Especially to Jake, Jake thought they was winning. This is why Jake wanted to go back. When Yahweh Shema Shai performed those miracles, Jake was out in the wilderness. Jake was like, hey, take us back to Pharaoh, man. Yahweh Shema Shai brought us out here to die, but no, man. Jake was still underneath those heavy enchantments, thinking that things was gonna be better back in Egypt, man. All right. This is the book of 1 Samuel 15:23, and it reads, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, right? And this whole system, society, America, it thrives off rebellion. Okay, rebellion against Yahweh Shema Shai. Esau Edom is the top, okay, rebellious nation against Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. And then he practices nothing but witchcraft, man, day in and day out. And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he have also rejected thee from being king. All right. And our people, man, they love rebelling against Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. That's why the Lord is gonna put them down. All right. But the main point is, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Okay? So everyone that's rebelling against Yahweh Shema Shai, you're considered a witch in the eyes of the Lord. Okay? This whole system, this whole country, all right, it was founded off witchcraft, man. What does the scripture say about witches, man? All right? This is why this place is going to be destroyed very soon. Exodus 22:18. And it reads, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. All right. So the Lord is going. What do you see in those old folklore, those old medieval shows and movies, man? They putting them witches to the stakes and they burning them. And this is what the Lord is going to do to America, Babylon the Great. All right. The Lord is getting ready to burn it with thermonuclear fire, because it was founded, it was established off lies, bloodshed, and witchcraft. All right, it's nothing more than an illusion. Okay. See, we went it off with this video. All right.
gonna do a Neil Diamond show? All they needed was each other. Tell me I'm doing the right thing.
I think you are.
Trying to be better.
Aren't we all?
Songs on Blue, rated PG-13, only theaters this Christmas. Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
All right. And this, hey, through the Spirit, this is speaking about America, man. Okay, America, Babylon the Great. All right, it's a wool pulled over the eyes of the masses. All right, this is why the Lord is He's only dealing with the elect. Okay, the elect have the eyesight to see. Okay, in this matrix, man. All right.
What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All right. What's that blue pill? Hey, 2/3 and the rest of these heathens. Okay, they gonna take that. You know, they gonna take that chip, man. Okay, oh, that blue pill is representing that chip. People that are gonna take that chip and be destroyed by Yahweh Shema Shai, they want to stay in this illusion, man. All right. But with that, we'll go ahead and close the lesson out. We're willing, it was edifying. We're gonna end it by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Korash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and the bishops who rule well and teach well. Shalom.